Welcome to the Stamper Podcast. This is episode 7, episode KD. I got a special guest in the building, very, very special guest I've been waiting to sit down with for a good minute. I want to introduce y'all to Henry AMAZIN. Let the people know what you do, Henry.
What's up, everybody? First off, man, Rafael, thank you for having me on as a guest. I love what you're doing with your business, and I love what you're doing with your podcast, man, because I believe every entrepreneur business owner should be leveraging podcasting because it's just so much opportunity in the space. But long story short, y'all, I am Henry Goss Jr., better known as Henry AMAZIN. I am a content marketing specialist. I'm a podcast host. I do social media management. I do a lot. I wear a lot of hats. I'm just a guy from Jackson, Mississippi that had a dream, decided to believe in himself and make it happen.
Man, that's what's up, man. And before we begin, man, I got to give you your flowers as well, man, because I scroll down the timeline and I know that's you. I mean, you on there all the time, consistently giving out the gems, even in Mastermind. I mean, bro, like your energy is just crazy. It's just unmatched as far as all the information you be giving out. I be in the Mastermind, got my notebook out, jotting down my notes because coming into this year, I wasn't on social media like that. Like I got a good friend of mine who owns a social media marketing company, and sitting down with me just laced me with the gems and everything. It felt like my head was splitting, my brain was splitting. I'm like, man, what the hell is this dude talking about right now? But coming into it, just compounding my efforts, consistently posting. Then I come into the Mastermind and you bring a whole new level to the game. I'm like, hold on, man, who is this dude, man? So, man, I had to sit down with you, man, just give you your flowers because, man, you put in a lot of work, bro. I see you dedicated to the craft. You always got something new to bring to the table when you're in the Mastermind, bro. So I just felt like, man, not only my audience, but the whole world needs to know about you and what you bring to the table.
Hey, man, and I appreciate you for that. I appreciate you for that greatly, like for real. And I think that's the thing, right? That's the funny thing, because I've been doing like social media since like 2012. Like that was my senior year in high school. I've been I've been building my personal brand as Henry AMAZIN since like 2011 when I was a junior in high school. And like when I was in undergrad, I studied mass comm with a concentration in integrated marketing communication, which is a fancy title for marketing, PR, advertising. But even outside of this, like the formal education, I've self-educated so much. Like literally, like I've been a student of Gary Vee since like 2015. And quick tangent, I remember, I think it was like the summer of 2015 or 2016, I was watching the Daily V episode over the summer, like every single day. Like, and I guess there's also why when it comes to just sharing information, like even though I know all this stuff, I'm such a student that it doesn't matter how much I learn, I'm always gonna seek more knowledge because I want to get better at what I do. Because if you're not growing, you dying. If you're not evolving as a person, and this is for no matter what you're in, like whether you're a notary, whether you're trying to start a notary signing agency, whether you want to create your own social media marketing company or any type of business or whatever, even in your career, if you're not learning new things, if you're not trying to grow as a person, then you're like dying, you're like slowing down. And I'm just all about growth and being the best me that I can be.
Facts. I mean, hey, you preaching to the choir, brother. You preaching to the choir for sure, bros. I mean, it's all about that consistency, man. Whatever it is that you're striving to do, like I said, whether it's social media marketing, whether it's your notary, whether it's you in sales, the same approach that athletes take in their craft when it comes to football, basketball, any type of sport, the same thing applies to business as well. So, but I want to rewind back to the beginning real quick.
Okay.
Down the timeline, I always see you repping Jackson State, man. Is that your alma mater?
Yes. Shout out to the Jackson State University, my dear old college home. Man, I love JSU. Like I said, I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, born and raised. I still reside here just because there's so much that Jackson has to offer. And one of those things is JSU. That's where I spent my undergrad years on the yard. Shout out to my chapter, D5, because, I crossed Alpha while I was there. but like I really like everything I wanted to do in undergrad, I did. Like I wanted to be in, like I really wanted to fully immerse myself into the college culture, and I did it. Like SGA did that, Greek life did that, being in special interest organizations did that, talking about being on exec boards, president, or like either a president or on the exec board, or even being like the PR person managing the social media profile to help grow the brand of the organization. Like I did all that, right? And it's just funny because as I reflect to the now, it's like I've always been the person I am today. And like for the people listening, like as you're on your road to greatness and becoming, the like the best version of you, understand that you've always been that person you're aspiring to be. It's just your job to make sure you tap into that greatness and you don't like let nobody like stop you or make you be average. Cause that's my main thing. Like I hate the thought of average because we are all amazing. We're all born with greatness. So yeah, but long story short, yes, JSU. I love JSU. And it's funny because it's SWAC championship week. So I'm excited for that because I predict we are going to get a SWAC title again. I feel it. I feel it.
Dion coaches them, right? Coaches the football team?
Yeah, Coach Prime. Shout out to him. Shout out to, of course, his family. And shout out to the football team, our AD, the operations, like everybody that plays a role, whether big or small, it don't matter because y'all help make things happen.
So what made you come to the decision to go to Jackson State?
For me, it's funny because, and again, shout out to HBCUs worldwide. But my parents actually went to Tougaloo College, which is in it's Tougaloo, Mississippi, but it's basically Jackson, Mississippi also. But they went there and I almost went there. The only thing that made me switch from Tougaloo to Jackson State is one, the scholarship I got was bigger, but two, Jackson State had like this social climate that I really wanted to like enjoy in undergrad. So that's ultimately what did it. And like, I don't know, it's just Jackson State is a special place. Like it's so much history. No matter what, field you want to talk about, we have people that have accomplished amazing things. And like the motto is true, like Jackson State will challenge your mind and change your life because that's what it did for me.
Facts. So, man, and speaking of Jackson State, bro, I want you to touch on your college experience because everybody's experience is different. I know for me, I went to a for-profit school called Kaplan College. And I went there solely to just get an AA degree in criminal justice, which I did not even put to use. Only benefit I got from going to that school was pretty much beating my wife, So
got you.
But my experience there wasn't like how you go to the big private colleges, like the Jackson State world, the USC's, the University of Texas, those schools of that nature. Right. So just touch on what was that college experience like for you, and how that experience got you to this point where you at in your life.
Man, Jackson State was like that was the place I really cultivated, like me, like Henry really cultivating, like Henry AMAZIN. And that's me as the entrepreneur, as the podcaster, just everything I do, I did it while I was at Jackson State. Literally, that was really the start. Like prime example, 2015, that was when I launched my first ever like business called Amazing Style, where I was selling menswear accessories. I did that while I was at JSU. And I was able to get support from my peers. But not only that, what it did was it like taught me just the fundamentals of having a business, of understanding like customer relations, having those interpersonal skills. And I want to give a shout out to one of my professors, and he's actually my frat brother as well, Dr. Mark G. Henderson, because I took his class, interpersonal communications, and that class made me an amazing communicator, because that, if I'm honest, that's what I do. Like, yes, I do social media. Yeah, I do the podcast, but I'm really like a communicator. And what I excel at is communicating in a way that will connect with the other person. But yeah, like Jack State is really where the start of everything. And, you know, if I talk about the organizations I was in, and then not even the organizations, but the people I got to meet and network with, like just the opportunities that have been afforded to me, is all because I was at GSU. Yeah. So I always got to give a shout out to GSU. And one thing for me is I'm glad I decided to fully immerse myself, because if I didn't, you know, join clubs and organizations, if I didn't, you know, go out to social events, whether it's, you know, the on campus or, you know, the off campus house parties, like my communication skills wouldn't be where it is now. Like the way I'm able to just show up and like speak with like confidence and not, you know, stumble over my words, like all of those skills I cultivated while I was at Jackson State. So yeah, man, it really just was a cultivating ground. And man, it's funny because literally everything I do now, I did back then. So it just was like the training ground. It's so funny because I didn't even, like, that's why hindsight is so 2020. I didn't even realize it till this moment. But yep, everything I do, I did back then while I was on the yard.
That's a big fact, man. I want to touch on the HBCU because out here in California, I don't know too many brothers and sisters that went to HBCUs. I might have known one or two. Me, myself, personally, always wanted to go to an HBCU, but that just didn't happen. So, man, can you talk about the importance of just Black folks in general, why they need to consider going to HBCU instead of going to schools, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Syracuse, you know, those big schools you know, where, you know, they don't really value us and what we bring to the table. Not like an HBCU is, where there's a lot of pride and a lot of swagger that comes with, you know, just being Black folks. Can you talk about the importance of just going to HBCU?
Most definitely. First off, I want to say that formal education that is valuable. Like having a college degree is valuable. The main thing is having a plan, or even if you don't have a plan, like once you get in, you need to figure out a plan, like network, get with people and try to, you know, figure out a way, because just having the degree itself won't necessarily sustain opportunities for you. Like it'll get you in the door in some places, but you want to make sure you just have just a plan, or be, you know, willing to adapt to the situation you're in. But when talking about HBCUs specifically, like first off, we have to just understand the history of them, like understanding why HBCUs were created in the first place. Because of course, before they were created, we weren't allowed to, you know, we didn't have access to these institutions of higher learning. So therefore, people, you know, and it wasn't only just Black people that was doing this. It was people of other races. They, you know, came together, and however they did it, they created these institutions for African Americans to gain access to, you know, higher education, and really gain access to opportunity. Because the more knowledgeable you are, the more skillful you are, the more opportunities you can create for yourself. Not even just opportunities you can like get, but you can create your own opportunity. And shoot, we could take it to like I think in Tuskegee, that was founded by Booker T. And I know he was all about the trades. So, you know, learning how to do something skillful with your hands, that's powerful, because yes, I could be hired as, you know, whatever the, you know, trade is, but I could also start my own business. I can literally create my own economy so that I can sustain my household, feed my family. So, man, HBCUs are important. I'm definitely a champion for HBCUs. I highly encourage anyone that's thinking about going to an HBCU to, like, don't discount their thought, like really consider it, because it's valuable. And it's just something about being in a space where you are celebrated, where you are encouraged, where you are really, like, the people pour into you and they really want to see you win. Not saying that doesn't happen in other spaces, but I know for me at my HBCU, I had the support, I had the emotional support, and then plus it's like your professors and stuff, and just the faculty and staff at HBCUs, especially when they're African American, they can like not only empathize with you but sympathize, right? Because they're literally going through, you know, this experience of being African American in the USA. So therefore, when they give you like correction or, you know, constructive feedback, it's from a place of love because they understand what it takes to navigate this world. So they're trying to give you the keys to the game as much as they can so that you can go out and create your own path and create, you know, the life that you want for yourself.
Man, that's key to have that support system, man. Because for me, when I went to school, I didn't have any professors or that could relate to me at all. We come from two different backgrounds, so they don't have the same experience as like as you're dealing with an African American professor who's walked in your shoes before, who's walked down the same path as you before. They know what you're dealing with outside of the classroom. They know what challenges that you face, and that support system to have that person put their arm around you and say, look, no matter what you're going through, if you need someone to talk to, you need someone to lend the ear, I'm here for you. And that's so huge. Like people don't really think about that.
Nah, facts, man. And then like
seems like that.
And then like to take it even a step further, like I'm, you know, blessed and fortunate. I came from a loving 2-parent household. So for me, college wasn't if, it was when, right? Like I knew like I was going to college, but I know that's not the reality for every, you know, Black, you know, girl or boy growing up. Like everybody didn't come from 2-parent households. Everybody don't come from or they don't have family members that are college educated or even attempted to go to college. So like that's another reason HBCUs are just so dope, because for like those first generation students, like they really can get the support system they need, because it is hard. Like it's hard anyway to, you know, go through college and learn, because again, you're challenged at such a higher rate than you were in high school, and then you have like more autonomy, and nobody's gonna make you go to class or do your homework. Like you really are experiencing a little taste of the real world. But like it's just that support system. Like I can't even stress that enough. And of course, no institution is perfect, but if I had to choose, I like, and even as my wife and I, we talk about our kids, like we already know that we're gonna encourage them to pursue the HBCU option. I'm not gonna limit them because I want them to get every opportunity that's, you know, that they get. But HBCU is always first to me. Is always first.
Man, and but you have an amazing agency, right? I mean, man, talk about those early beginnings. What was you doing previously before coming into social media marketing?
Man, so before I like formally did social media management, I really was just like, well, now the way I classify it is I was just being a consumer of social media. So, you know, just getting on, scrolling, enjoying the content that everybody else puts out. And I was like, man, this is kind of cool. And one thing I realized was, even in me just starting to use social media, like it started to become like natural for me to where, like, you know, I didn't have any just anxiety or any type of broke mental block or anything like that would stop me from like posting or just from using social media. Yeah. And then with that being like my major in school, I had to study it. I just had to study it on a high level just so that I could, you know, pass my classes. So it's like I'm studying this in school and I'm interacting with it just as a consumer. And I started to realize like, there's opportunity here. Like, and I'll never forget, it was 2015. I was just, you know, chilling on YouTube. And I don't know how I came to it, but I saw a TED Talk by Ty Lopez where he talked about the good life and how it's the 4 areas, health, wealth, love, happiness. Saw that, and you know how YouTube show you like recommended videos? Somehow, some way, I came across Gary Vaynerchuk, and it was like a wrap from there, because I'm like, I love to learn, right? Like growing up, I was a A student, well, AB student, and I just really love to learn. I have like an insatiable thirst for knowledge, and that's why even again, like I've been doing social media for all these years, but I still want to learn more because I know there's more to learn. And I'm glad I have that just genuine thirst for knowledge because it's literally what helped me realize the opportunity that there was with like social media in the social media space, whether we're talking, creating a product or a service and marketing it online, as well as actually being the person behind the brand and managing their social media to help them grow their digital presence by leveraging the different platforms, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, etc. So just the journey of learning, doing stuff, and then like I said, when I was an undergrad, I managed different pages for organizations. I remember at one point in time I was managing the social media page for my fraternity, my chapter, and just that experience, it just showed me the opportunity. So of course I started learning more and really studying. And it's funny, Malcolm Gladwell in his book Outliers talks about how you have to put 10,000 hours in, and like I really did it. Like when it comes to this social media marketing, it's really content marketing because that's what I decided to specialize in. Like I really studied like Seth Godin, and I maybe saying his name wrong, but Seth Godin, Neil Patel, of course, like I said, Gary Vee, Marty Woodard, Mo Isma. Shout out to Mo. He is dope when it comes to the video content. Like I study so much. So again, the experience, the knowledge, seeing the opportunity, that's what led me to be like, okay, I think I can do this, right? I think I can go out and make this a business where I earn money by basically doing what I love to do because I like creating content that connects, communicate. Well, I like creating content that communicates, connects, and then converts. Whether that's that converting meaning someone joining your community or them actually making the purchase, stuff like that. Yeah. But and I want to give a shout out to also my girl Bianca Taylor, because I took her social media theory school. I enrolled in that, and she taught me so much as well. So I want to give a shout out to B. But yeah, I hope that answered. And I guess the early days of the agency, it was really, really hard. I had really high ambition, but like life smacked me in the face. And I just got to see like the the challenges that come with running a business, such as managing clients and things of that nature. But I love the journey. I actually slowed down from like trying to build out a whole agency, and I decided to just do the work and just gain my skill set, improve my skill set, just so that I could know what needs to be done so that I could document it, make SOPs, and then later on in the future, start to bring on talent and start training people and stuff like that. Because again, shout out to the mastermind, right? Because the Tide Capital Business Development Mastermind really opened my eyes to what it takes to truly build something sustainable. Because a lot of people start, but a lot of people don't finish. A lot of people don't sustain. And just the knowledge we get from, of course, the past recordings to the daily lessons, like I just learned what it took to really build a thriving business. And I know for me, that's the end goal. I want a thriving business. So I decided to slow down and speed up because the best way to go fast is to go slow.
Nice. I mean, man, on this podcast, man, one thing I always want to talk about is, the challenges, the ups and downs that come with entrepreneurship, because if you're looking on TikTok, you're looking at, Twitter and social media, everybody winning. Nobody ain't took no losses. Ain't nobody struggling. Everybody just got it made from the jump. So, bro, can you please just tell the audience, man, about the early challenges that you dealt with in the beginning of your business?
Oh yeah. The first thing is not knowing how to function like a business. For real. When it comes to like contracts, not understanding my workload, understanding my capacity. So I'm out here over promising and under delivering. And me doing that actually lost me a client that, I have a lot of love and respect for this person because they're just dope. They're crushing it. They run multiple businesses. And when I say this person is freaking amazing, they are. But like losing them as a client really like taught me to, one, understand my capacity, two, never overpromise and underdeliver, like never underdeliver, because your word is your bond, and that's the only thing you can go on. And especially in social media, like in these social media streets, for lack of better words, your name is everything. Because I've seen situations where people, like, their name got like completely messed up because they weren't who they said they were. And I know for me, I never want to put myself in that predicament. I never want to like portray myself one way, or I don't never want to portray myself one way to a person, whether it's a client or even showing up on social media and not following through. Yeah. Because again, your name is everything, your word is your bond. And those are the challenges I face, as well as understanding that everybody's not like, although yes, you may be dope, everybody isn't your client. Like, you got to know that, like, know your target audience, and I know it's easy to hear that when you're just now starting out. Yeah. But like that, when it comes to that whole ideal client thing, like really take some time and think about that. Like who do you want to work with? Yeah. Because like it's possible to have bad clients as well. So those are just the things I experienced, as well as being too thirsty for our opportunity. So like, just because somebody's like, yeah, hey, I want you to do this for me. And what you see is like, okay, bet I can earn this money, it's real quick, it's real easy. And you end up getting yourself in a situation that it wasn't what you thought it was gonna be. And you just shouldn't, like, you have to have discernment as a creative, really just in everything you do, and understand that it's okay to say no. Honestly, it's easier to say no and then go back and say yes than to say yes and then go back and say no. Because people would much rather it be a no, whether they admit it or not. They would much rather get no than yes instead of yes. And then you come back and, give them the disappointing no.
That's a big fact, man. I had a situation like that recently.
Oh man,
a situation like that recently where we had a client reach out to us to get a refinance. I said, yeah, we can get that taken care of. Sure enough, man, it took me like 2 hours to find a notary to get it set up, and then by the time I let the title company know, like, hey, we're able to get a notary, they said, oh, it's too late. We already got that taken care of. So a lot of times, it's about speed. Like again, it comes back to over promising and under delivering. So use that as a lesson for y'all listening. Give yourself some grace. If you're not ready to take on a certain assignment, just say, hey, right now we're not able to fulfill that assignment, and then get back to the drawing board and put systems in place to where you don't have to go back against your word and say, oh no, we not. We were able to do it, but now we come back saying no, we can't do it. So let that be a lesson. Don't over promise and under deliver.
Man, facts.
Big facts. And so, for the listener that's listening to you, say, hey man, Henry's he makes it sound so interesting, man. I want to start a marketing agency. Make steps or give them some steps of what they need to do in order to prepare themselves to start a marketing agency. What type of mindset they need to be in order to start this type of business?
Most definitely. The first thing I would say you need is an abundance mindset, because you need to know that money and opportunity will come to you in abundance, endlessly, with ease. Like, you have to know that, because if you don't operate with that mindset, you'll operate with a scarcity mindset, which is one of like competition. Like, oh, like these other people that's in my lane, like they're the ops, right? But that's not the way you should, or at least that's not the way I approach it. I believe in the mindset of collaboration over competition, because like when you collaborate with your peers, you are like, you put yourself in position to like amplify not only your brand, but their brand. And literally by you two coming together, you're able to touch people that you don't even realize you can touch. So that's the first thing, having abundance mindset. The second thing, you need to have zero doubt belief in yourself, because yes, it's cool to believe in you, but if you doubt yourself, it's gonna show up when you show. It's gonna show up when you show up. For real, because your actions, like even like the way you speak, the way you think, the way you act, like you're gonna operate in a way where you're gonna really like limit yourself and not really show up to your full capacity. But that's because you don't truly fully believe in yourself. And you gotta have that zero doubt belief in yourself. The next thing I would say is like invest in yourself. Like really start to learn, whether that's, getting a course, whether that's, I know some people, they do Google and YouTube University. I did it at one point in time. And hey, whatever you have to do to learn how to do your skill, how to do this craft, make it happen. And then, of course, once you get to the point where you can invest financially, I would strongly encourage you to do it, because there are like certain systems that you don't realize that you need to have a sustainable business. Like, yes, it's cool to acquire the clients, but what are you gonna do to make sure like your client fulfillment is tight? That you're able to manage that relationship. What are you gonna do to where you're able to automate your processes to where you can get new clients? Like if you're, trying to run a big full service agency, you're able to get clients like with ease, like without you actually having to be on the phone. You have to figure those things out, because like managing, like retaining clients is a great way to sustain a business, but you still need to be getting new clients, because there is churn in businesses. There are people that, for whatever reason, after whatever time frame, they decide that, hey, this isn't for them, whether it's, financially, or they just want to go in a different direction. Like that's life. People do have change of hearts like that. So that's the thing. Have the abundance mindset, have zero doubt belief in yourself, invest in yourself, like get knowledge, figure out whatever you need to do to become like great at your craft. And then once you get the resources, like invest in a mentor, invest in a coach, invest in a resource to give you that extra boost of info. Because honestly, what you're doing when you get a coach or you buy a course, you're literally creating a fast lane to your success. Like seriously, because like prime example, there are different people I know that, they do offer like one-on-one consultations, or they got courses, and I have purchased their courses, and literally the stuff that I spent hours or weeks or months searching and siphoning through online on like Google and YouTube, it literally was packaged up right there for me. And it's like, bruh, imagine the amount of time I could save, or I would have saved, if I just knew of this like course, or I was able to get that one-on-one consultation, on the front end. Yeah. So that's the thing, because time is everything. Like time is everything. And that's a whole other thing. Like time is worth way more than money. When you don't have money, it doesn't seem that way, because that's the only thing you're focused on. Yeah. But once you start to make money and accumulate money, you're gonna realize that your time is more valuable than that dollar. Like, because you're not gonna get more time. Like they print money like every single day at the Fed. Like literally, they're probably printing money right now. But like you're not gonna get 5 seconds ago, you're not gonna get that back. You're not gonna get that back. So time is worth more than money.
And I want to add to that too, man. As far as investing in yourself, like you can't be penny pinching.
Right, for real.
You're not, if you're gonna have a business, you got to take that time and invest in yourself. Whether it's like you said, courses, man. This is past week. I took advantage of all those Black Friday deals for
and
consultations that relate to what I'm doing, and then that was some of the best money I ever spent because the time that you would spend on YouTube, hours and hours of YouTube trying to just find that one little gem, just by investing $40 to $50 on yourself,
man,
save yourself hours of time and like, I got that gem, right? What I need now needs to be implemented. Money. So
for real,
invest that time into yourself, and also touching on the mentorship and the coaching. I was one of those people coming into 2021. Like, what do I need a mentor for? What's the point of me having a coach? What do I need that? What am I spending money for this for? But then, bro, just by getting under the mastermind, getting some coaching, not even getting full one-on-one coaching from Andre, but just for the gyms that so far, it's like, bro, like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Bro, and then, man, to take it even a step further, like, that's the hidden benefit that some people don't even realize. Like, when you invest in yourself, and you reach out and you're like, hey, I'm gonna get a consult with this person, or hey, I'm gonna join this mastermind, or I'm gonna join this community of people that are like-minded like me. What you get to do is build your network and build genuine connections. Yeah. Like, I kid you not, there are opportunities I have right now. Like, honest to God, I have it simply because I position myself in the mastermind. Like, people that follow me, they may see, like, right now, I'm doing work with Andre, managing one of his social media, one of his Instagram accounts. And like, the way that even happened was because I'm part of the mastermind. And, like, I teach content marketing. So, he knows, like, I do, like, I really do this. So and then it was funny because he had literally tweeted out one night, I think it was like 10 o'clock at night. He was like, hey, I need somebody to manage a page. You create the content, run it, all that good stuff. Just DM me with your price. And yeah, we just gonna go with it. And I saw it, sent him a DM, sent my price. And he was like, bet, let's cook. And I truly believe, and then it was funny because it happened like 10, 15 minutes after he tweeted the tweet. He like called it and was like, Henry got the job or whatever. And I truly believe the reason I was able to do that is because, like, I'm in the mastermind and he sees like what I've done. So it was a no-brainer. And then to take it a step further, I have a really dope opportunity now where I'm doing work with Annalisa. For those who don't know, she teaches people how to start their own virtual assistant business. And she's made 6 figures doing it, and she has some students that have made 6 figures as virtual assistants. So I'm able to do like some work with her business, Elevated Assist, working with a few clients. And literally that is because I did dope work for Andre. So it's like that's the power of like investing in yourself, of like putting yourself in environments where you can network with other like-minded people. Because the thing is, you're a person of value. You listening to this right now, no matter what stage in your journey you're at, you are a person of value. So when you are valuable and you provide that value, and you're amongst a group of, like, a wide group of people, if someone needs what you offer, it's easier for them to reach out to you because you're in that. You put yourself in there. That's the power of proximity, like, for real. But I just had to say that, man, because it literally is blowing my mind. Because like the different people I've been like following on Twitter and Instagram for the past few years, like, literally not only have they like followed me back, but now we like exchange interactions. Like, it's just interesting, right? It's like if you're a basketball player and you meet, like, different NBA players, you're like, man, one day I want to be in the league. Then you get to the league and you realize, oh snap, like, same playing field as the people I once was looking at for inspiration and stuff. So it's just really, really dope. 2021 has been insane for me, like insane.
Yeah, I'm doing some stuff this year. I didn't plan on doing this year. Man, just everything that's been happening, man. Like, bro, in 2020, I had no digital courses. Like, I literally watched a lot of people get rich on the timeline. Just like, damn.
Nah, man. Man. Oh, man, I gotta like, because we gotta dive into that. Because I know there are some people that may like look down on course creators. Yep. But what you have to realize is, yes, you may be able to find information, elsewhere, right? But the reason people create courses, or at least the reason people, like honest people create courses, is because they want to pack, like they literally get up with so many questions about that one thing that literally the best way to reach the most people is to package it up into one thing that you can give to a person. And also, when you create a course, you're able to give your exact experience, right? Because knowledge is cool, but knowledge with a person's experience really makes it tangible. It really makes you feel that it's achievable, because we all know like 1 + 1 is 2, but to know like your math professor use that formula and then created whatever it is he created, that just helps it stick even more. So like courses are dope, course creators are dope, and it's funny because I'm actually I've been working on my own course. I'm dropping one for podcasters called like the ABCs of podcasting, and I want to have it done by the end of the year, but it may be something that drops in 2022. But it's because I get hit up a lot of questions. Hey man, I want to do a podcast. Hey, how do you do what you do? And it's like, yes, I could spend, my day responding to everybody's DM, or I can sit down, create one course that addresses all of the questions that they may have and make it to where they can invest in themselves and get it. Because one sad but true fact is, if people don't pay, they don't pay attention. Like for real. People really, and I don't understand this and that's a whole other thing. Like I really study human behavior. And it's just fascinating to me the way that people are more like, they're more likely to take action when they like put some money behind it. Like, whether it's a course or video, whatever it is, if they pay money, they're more willing to take action. It's interesting that it takes that, but that's just human behavior.
Yeah, man, you gotta put your money where your mouth is.
Nah, for real.
Man, this has been a dope episode for us. Man, it's been a dope episode, bro. Before we wrap up, man, I need to know, man, how many books are you reading a month?
Man, okay, so I actually took a pause because I started to become like an info junkie. I was reading a whole bunch of books, not taking a whole lot of action. Yeah. But what I will say is, like 2018, I read almost 40 books because I was trying to read 52, read like 40. So now if I pick up a book and it's like really, really good, I'll sit like, well, let me answer the question. Let me answer it directly. Right now, it's like I read books to get one gem and then I put it back. So, but that's because just my philosophy is books aren't one hit wonders. Books aren't like one night stands. Yeah. Books are like, you're meant to have a relationship with the book. So like I'm looking at 3 books right here. Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, Richest Man in Babylon by George.
That's a great one.
George Clason, and then also the TEDx Secrets, I think, or the 10 Talk Like TED, which basically is giving you tools to learn how to speak. But like I'll literally pick up one of those books, read it for like 10, 15 minutes, put it down, get the gym, and go on about my day. So it really varies. It really, really varies. Just because again, I love knowledge. Oh man, I love knowledge. And I'm just a student. And
if you had one gem that you can give to a new entrepreneur, new business owner that's going on Twitter, that's going on Instagram or TikTok to promote their brand, what would be one gem you can lay on the people?
The one gem I would give them is to ABC, always be consistent. Consistency will outperform any and everything. Yes, a person may be talented. Yes, a person may have connections. However, if that talented person or that well-connected person is not consistent, they will not last. Consistency will get you where you're trying to go. So fall in love with the process instead of the final product. Like, be consistent. And yeah, that's what I'll tell them. Consistency, man. Man, consistency. Consistency is everything.
Man, before we wrap up, man, plug your social medias in, man. Plug your business. Let the people know where they can find you, man. They need to tap in.
All right, everybody. So once again, I am Henry Jr., better known as Henry AMAZIN. You can connect with me on all social media platforms at Henry AMAZIN. That's HENRYAMAZIN. And if you ever want any type of like consultation or anything of that nature, just shoot me a DM and we'll make it happen.
That's it, folks. Man, I appreciate my guy Henry for hopping on the Stamper Podcast. If we gave you guys any value today, subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a 5-star rating. We want to continue to give more people of value like Henry on the show, and continue to give y'all game, because this is what we do, man. We are people that have been through it. That's in the journey with you, and you're gonna have your ups and your downs. You're gonna have those days where you don't feel like absolutely doing nothing at all. Trust me, I felt the same way. And you're gonna have those days where you win, and we want to be there to support you every step of the way. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Until next time, Stamper Checkout.
Peace.